Hey guys, it's Saleh. OpenAI just released two open source models in the sizes of 20 and 120 billion parameters. Now the one that I really care about is the 20 billion parameter because that is the one that I'm able to run it on my local Mac machine. So this is the one that I really care about, and I couldn't be more excited about it because apparently it's pretty good and that gives me full privacy for my strategies. But of course what we really care about as algo traders is the performance of the model for things such as writing strategies in Python, debugging our existing strategies, or if the model has any actual trading knowledge. So if all that sounds interesting to you, let's get right into the video. So here's a blog post released by OpenAI, and it gives us some information about the models, but what I really care about is the benchmark of it. So let's scroll down, and here we can see the GPT OSS 20 billion model without tools. And here we can see that it is beating slightly the O3 mini model. So that's pretty amazing because I remember O3 mini used to be a very good model. So if this is true, that is fantastic. Now to run these tests, we have two ways. So one is to use JesseGPT, which is our cloud version. It has all the instructions for algo-trading in Python. And even if you don't have a GPU of your own, you can just use this model. And you can check it out here. And this new model, especially the 20 billion, uses only one credit. So that is by far the cheapest model on our list. So even if you have a free account on Jesse.trade, you can easily use this model. But the whole point of doing this was that we could have more privacy, right? Because it's open source. So in this video, I'm not going to do that, and instead I will show you how to run a completely offline version of it. So the easiest way to do this is simply download LM Studio, which is great for running local LLM models. Now I already did this, and in fact if you go to the discover page, you can see that GPT OSS 20 billion is of this list. And I already downloaded this, but because it's so new, only the GGUF version is available. So the MLX version isn't. Now, in case you don't know what that is, the MLX version are LLM models specifically for Apple Silicon machines. So if I run that version, which will be out approximately tomorrow, I'm gonna get 20 to 30% better performance. So same machine, but 20 or 30% better performance. So that's really amazing. Now, again, I already downloaded this. All right, so now we are able to load the model. So let's go here, click here. Now make sure to increase the context length because by default it's set to 4,000. That's very low for our use case. So I'm gonna set this to at least 30,000, but the max supported value for this model is 131,000. So that's pretty amazing. Now I'm seeing some new options on LM Studio. I don't know if it's just for this model or it came with a new version of LM Studio, but to be honest with you, I'm not sure how to change these things. So I'm just gonna let them what it is. It also gives us a setting for number of experts. By default, it is set to 4, but I'm really curious to know what would happen if I increase this. So anyways, let's load the model. It's gonna take a while for this. All right, so let's ask it to give me the entry and exit rules of a golden cross strategy in Python. Okay, so it's Python, not PyTorch. Let's hit enter, and you see the model is extremely fast, and it is also a reasoning model. So that's why it is thinking before giving us the answer. So it is giving me the entry rules. It actually gave me some pseudocode, so this is good. Then it is explaining the code, turning signals into position. So yeah, because by default it doesn't know about Jesse framework. It doesn't know how we're going to trade this or backtest it. So this is perfectly fine and pretty good. Okay, so this seems really good, but what I want to show you is this. You see this value here, 66 token per second. So that's the speed of the model. If I'm able to run the MLX version, which will come out tomorrow, I'm gonna get like 80 or 90 token per second. So that's why you would really care about the MLX version. But anyway, so this is perfectly acceptable. But now, in order to make sure the model is able to give us answers for algo trading in Jesse framework, which is something we can actually backtest or even live trade, I'm gonna have to go to this settings page, and you see you're gonna have to create a new preset and give it the instructions. Now I'm gonna paste the whole instructions here, and it is taking 20,000 tokens. So they are huge. It this has all the rules of the Jesse framework. It has a lot of examples in it. So this is really great. And in case you're curious, yes, I'm going to link to the repository that has its instructions and leave it on the description section of the video. Now, the next thing is this model page, and we need to change this temperature value here. By default, I think this is set to 0.5, but I have lowered it to 0.3. Now, by the way, the temperature value is how much you want the model to be creative. So the bigger it is, the more likely the model is going to give you good ideas, but it will also do more hallucinations, and I want to prevent that. So for that reason, I'm going to set this to values such as 0.3 or even 0.2. And once you're done with this, make sure to commit the changes. And now if I go and ask the same thing from the model, so let's go down here and simply click on the regenerate message button, you see now it is processing the prompt. So it's taking a lot longer for it to begin. And that is because we are now feeding the model with 20,000 tokens of input. So of course it's going to take some time for the model to begin, but once this initial prompt is over and it starts giving us answers, my follow-up questions of the model are going to start almost instantly. So this is just a one-time thing, don't worry about it. But still, even with that, you see when it is printing the result, it is significantly slower. Now it is slower, but it is still fast enough. So I'm not really sad about this. And what I'm curious is the answer. So you see now it is using the correct syntax of the Jesse framework, and this is perfectly correct, but I found the model to sometimes write the strategy with a weird syntax. So here it defined the property, but it didn't go to the next line and it just continued it like this. I believe this should work, but it's a bit odd. Now, another thing that I noticed with this model is that it tends to print a lot of comments, and I really like that. I think it's really helpful. So let's wait for the whole thing. All right, so now with the same prompt, it gave us an actual strategy that we are able to run. So that's why these instructions are super helpful. Now let's go through the code very quickly. So it defined two indicators. So one is for moving average with the 20 period and another with 50. The syntax is simply return ta.ema, and then it is passing the current candles, which is the perfectly correct syntax in Jesse. It repeated that with the period of 50. In the int rule of the strategy, which we call shoot long in Jesse, it's saying if it's the first index, return false, because we don't have any previous data. So this isn't correct actually, so this shouldn't even be here, but it is trying to fetch the previous value of the EMA 20 with this syntax. This again isn't correct because when you use this syntax with Jesse, it will only give you one value, and that is the value of the current indicator. So it's not even a list, and this isn't correct. Now this is a bit weird because the previous times that I ran this, it worked just fine, but right now it's not. I'm not sure why that is. Now it is not shorting. Okay, that's fine because we didn't ask it. And for the update position function, which only happens whenever a new candle closes, it's saying if it's a long position and the EMA 20 is below EMA 50, which is kind of a death cross. So in that case, liquidate the current position. This is correct syntax. For the position sizing, it's saying the entry is going to be the current price. The stop is also going to be the current entry minus 2 times of the current ATR. This is correct. It is risking 3% per each trade with the risk to quantity utility function of Jesse. This is perfectly correct. And to submit the buy order, which is our entry order, it's saying self.buy equals quantity and then the entry. Again, this is correct. It's saying once the position is open, if it's a long position, the stop loss is going to be the quantity of the current position. Again, correct syntax. And the price of it is going to be the current price minus 2 times of the current ATR. So the 2 is here actually. And the take profit is going to be 4 times of that. So it has a risk to reward ratio of 2. That's really great. And then it defined the watch list, which is useful if you want to trade the strategy live and see the values in real time. So it's really great. I like it. But now the token per second is only 13. So it is significantly lower, but still acceptable for a completely offline model. Now guys, you know that I usually go through all the questions and show you the answers of the model, but in this video I'm not going to do that because I actually did that, and after recording the whole video I realized that my audio wasn't on, And right now, unfortunately, I don't have time to re-record the whole thing. So I'm just going to show you the ending result. And I need you to trust me that I did run these tests and these are the final results that I was getting. So it got most of the questions right. In fact, it is getting perfect 10 in most of them. Now with this one, it wasn't able to complete the task, which was to convert a PineScript strategy into Python code. But whenever I ask it to write a strategies, for example, write a golden cross strategy, it nailed it. I asked it to develop a mean reversion strategy using Bollinger Bands and the RSI with this period of 7. It nailed that question. I asked it to write a strategy that uses Fibonacci retracement levels for entry and exit points. It did it beautifully. And in all of these things, it was writing a lot of helpful comments, and that's something that I hadn't seen in any other LLM model. Then I asked it to update my existing strategy code to add some chart values. It wasn't able to do a great job, but it wasn't a complete fail. Then I asked it to write a trend following strategy that uses 15 minutes time frame for entry and the forest time frame for confirmation. So this is something that we can only do with Jesse framework, because if you try to use a bigger time frame in, let's say, TradingView's PineScript, you're gonna hit the look ahead bias, which means you will be using the price from the future and you're gonna get unrealistic results. But in Jesse, that's not the case. Now, anyways, the model was able to write a very good strategy with that, but I needed to tweak one thing to get it working, and that's why I give it a 9 out of 10. Now, for this question, I asked it to improve my existing strategy, which was trading the 15 minutes time frame. Now, the strategy was losing money because it was taking too many trades when a lot of false breakouts were happening. So I needed to know if the model has some actual trading knowledge to know what to do in these kind of situations, like what kind of filters it will define to take less trades, but only trades that are actually worth it. And it wasn't helpful at all with that, so I give it a 0. Next, I asked it to develop a strategy that combines the Williams %R, MACD, and Bollinger Bands. Now, I had to make 2 changes to get it working, but it was perfect, so I give it an 8. Next, I asked it to write the entry functions of the strategy for me in a way that it should use 2 limit orders for opening the position, and it should only risk 2% of capital per trade. And it was able to nail that, so it knows the correct syntax for this framework to not only use one order to open positions, but multiple. Next, I asked it to write a pair trading strategy for ETH and BTC, and it was able to nail that question. So overall, these scores aren't as high as the previous models that I reviewed on this channel, but I believe this one is still a very good one, because all of those models, they had parameters bigger than 100 billion at least. We're actually able to run this one completely locally, and that is very valuable. And also with the questions that it didn't get them working, I don't really care, because it still did a great job with the other questions. So I believe this model is perfectly usable on your local machine if you are able to run it. And even if you use a cloud version of it, yes, you will lose some of your privacy, but the pricing of it is significantly low, which means that you can use it all the time for research. So I believe OpenAI just did a wonderful job, and I wasn't expecting this at all, like considering their previous releases and how expensive those models were and not actually really useful. I had no idea that their open source model is going to be this good. Now, by the way, recently I also installed the Cointree Coder model, the one that has lower parameters, and I was able to run it on my MacBook machine, and it was good, but it wasn't nearly as good as this one. So in case you are an open source model enthusiast like myself, then you should know this, because again, I think this is the king of the open source models, at least the ones that you are able to run them locally. Now, there's another setup that I'm really curious to try, and that is using an agentic framework for it. So if we set up this model that way, we won't just ask the model to give us the strategies, copy and paste it into Jesse and backtest and see if it works or not. It will be able to edit the source of the strategy for us. So it's super helpful. So if that's the kind of setup that you want to see, let me know in the comments and I might record a video just about that. Now, if you guys want me to make more videos like this, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and give me your opinion in the comment section. It helps me out a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.